What is your name, please?
My name is Pat Maris, and I'm the wife of Roger Maris.
My name is Pat Maris. I am the father of Roger Maris.
My name is Pat Maris, and I am the sister of Roger Maris.
Only one of these people is really related to Roger Maris, American League Home Run King. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Dina Merrill, Johnny Carson, and Kitty Carlisle on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Good evening, panel.
Hi, Bud.
Good evening. Bright and able to cope with everything that comes tonight. Suppose you open your envelopes and take out your affidavit cards for the first time and follow along as I read from this first one. I, Pat Maris, have been following the baseball career of Roger Maris ever since he entered professional baseball in 1953. We and his family are extremely proud of his accomplishments, such as his being named Most Valuable Player in the American League in 1960, and particularly the fact that he is the only man to have hit 60 home runs in one season since the great Babe Ruth. Signed, Pat Maris. Now, panel, you heard these three persons all claiming to be Pat Maris, related to baseball star Roger Maris, and let's start this first round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, Pat, where did Roger go to school and college, university?
He started at Oklahoma.
How come he quit, Pat, number one?
Going to baseball.
Number two, Pat, how come he quit going to school at Oklahoma? I mean, what specific reason in the family caused him to go into baseball?
Well, the main reason he went was because the offer that the Yankee farm system made to him.
Well, that's a good reason. Number three, Pat, could you tell me where Roger was born?
Harrison, Arkansas.
Roger Maris was born in Harrison, Arkansas.
Dina?
That seems to surprise
Where were you born? I mean, it's your turn to question.
Number three, Pat, you're the sister?
That's right.
How come if he started school in college in Oklahoma, how come he went to Oklahoma if he's born in Arkansas?
He received a football scholarship to the University of Oklahoma.
A football scholarship?
Yes, that's right.
I see. Did he also play pro football after he left college?
No, he never did play pro football.
I see. Father Pat, how many home runs did Maris hit last year?
Number two.
39
39.
last year.
Wife Pat, what were the most home runs outside of this year that he ever hit?
38
And what year was that?
in the minor league.
Johnny?
I hate to seem un-American, but I don't know any more about baseball than I do about the mafia, to be honest. The mafia has a better batting average, I know that.
All right, Johnny, what's the pitch? What's the pitch?
I'm just killing time, so I don't have to ask any questions.
You did it. All righty. Kitty.
Very funny.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number one, as Mr. Maris's wife, what is your role in his life? Well, I mean, are you do you rub him down when he comes home? Do you console him when he has temperamental fits? How do you
I don't see him too much because I'm not right here in New York.
I see. Number two, are you pleased about your son?
Well, naturally.
Did you see the picture in the paper today with Mrs. Ruth?
No.
You didn't?
No, I was sleeping this afternoon.
Yeah, man.
Number three, where were you born?
Harrison, Arkansas.
Also with the same... I see.
Well, that's it. We didn't have too many questions. We had a lot of laughs, though. We'll find out now how we go about our great national pastime of baseball identification. So will you kindly get set without any consultation, panel, and mark your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3? A team of challengers will, as is our custom, receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Everybody voted?
Yes.
We all set? Okay, Tom, for whom did you vote this first time?
I voted for number 1, Pat Maris, the wife, based on the answers that she gave to Johnny's questions.
Dina Merrill, which one did you select?
Oh, but I knew I should read those sports pages. I voted for Pat, wife, number 1, too, but not for the reasons Tom did.
No.
Because I saw Maris on television last night, and he doesn't particularly look like sister. And I thought that father might have been looking in the paper at son's publicity, you know, and been kind of excited about it if it had really been his father. So I voted for number 1.
All right. Johnny, you asked the most questions. For whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3 because she said she was born in Harrison, Arkansas, and you said Roger was born in Harrison, Arkansas. And a sister and brother that are born together play together.
Oh, he's loaded tonight. Okay, Kitty.
No, he's not. I can vouch for it. I voted for number 1 because every time I see pictures of baseball players' wives in the newspapers, they're always perfectly beautiful girls. And I voted for number 1 because she's so pretty.
All right. We've all had our reasons and our votes, and let's discover right now how well we know our baseball and our baseball families as we discover which one of these 3 persons is related to baseball star Roger Maris. So will the real Pat Maris please stand up? Now, we'd like to congratulate you, Pat, on 2 things. Number 1, in behalf of your husband, of whom we're all very proud for having gotten up to that 60 mark, and it began to look like maybe he might not. He calmed down and really pulled it out of the hat. And even more so, we'd like to congratulate you on number 4 addition to your family, and wish you best of good luck in the World Series. Nice to have you with us. Now, let's find out about these other 2. Number 2, sir. May we have your name and what you really do, please?
I am Frank McConnell. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm a Brigadier General, United States Army, retired.
And number 3, may we have your name and what you do?
My name is Peggy Alderman. I'm private secretary for Handy and Harmon, fabricators of precious metals and their alloys.
Thank you.
And incidentally, Roger Maris does not have a sister.
Check up on our score, we find that the panel was pretty smart tonight. 1, 2, 3 correct ones, only 1 incorrect for a total of $250. But I hope that the fun that you had and the knowledge of how much pleasure you brought us more than make up for it. You also receive, of course, a carton of Salem cigarettes on your way out. Thank you so much, and good luck again, Pat. Night. Tell me, what do you enjoy most about springtime? Maybe it's the wonderful carefree feeling you have on a day like this. Panel, may I present our next team of challengers?
What is your name, please?
My name is Willie Krause.
My name is Willie Krause.
My name is Willie Krause.
Once again, panel, will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit? I shall read from mine. I, Willie Krause, am a letter carrier. Prior to my post office job, I spent 15 years as an aerialist with the world-famous Flying Conchellos. In 1955, I was called by my friend Burt Lancaster to work on his movie of circus life. During the filming, the double or stunt girl for the female star met with an accident. I was given a woman's costume and pressed into service. Consequently, in the motion picture Trapeze, I appear as a double for the glamorous Italian movie star Gina Lollobrigida. Signed, Willie Krause. I remind you, panel, that you just heard these 3 gentlemen all claiming to be one Willie Krause, who doubled for Gina Lollobrigida. And we begin this round of questioning with Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, do you know who Lillian Lightsell was?
Certainly do. She was killed in Europe.
Number 2, who produced Trapeze?
Heck Hill Lancaster. Heck Hill Lancaster.
Number 1, can you describe the costume you wore when you doubled for Miss Lollobrigida?
Well, it was a leotard and tights and a wig.
It was a very racy picture.
Number 3, can you describe the costume a little bit more than that?
That's about right.
Seems a bit scanty.
You wouldn't want to hear about the unmentionables.
Well, why not? Number 1, who was the famous aerialist who walked on a wire, not a high wire, but a low wire act? Number 2?
You're looking at me?
Yes.
It was Harold Alzano.
Tom Poston.
Thank you, Bud. Did you get to keep the costume? I mean, Number 2, what is a web? A web? You're speaking of a Spanish web? It's a... Don't bother to answer. I know you've been briefed. That's my... Number 1, what is a kip to an aerialist or a trapeze performer? A kip?
A kip? Are you speaking of a trapeze bar?
Yes.
That's where you get up into an upright position.
That's what the kip is for in a trapeze. Right. Number 3, what is tan bark made of? Do you know?
Sawdust.
Yeah, I guess so. Number
Gina.
Number 3, it says that your friend Burt Lancaster. How long have you known Burt?
Well, actually, I knew Burt years ago, before he ever became a movie star. In those days, he was a high bar act, earning around $15 a week.
Can you tell me the name of his brother?
I never knew his brother. I don't
see.
think he had a brother, actually, but it could be.
Number 2...
Roger Maris doesn't have a sister. Why should he have
Can you tell me the name of Burt Lancaster's brother?
Yes, Bill.
I see. Number 1, can you tell me the name of Burt Lancaster's brother?
I don't know that he has a brother.
Thank you. Number 1, do you know if his father is alive or dead?
He's dead.
Do you know when he died?
Recently, I read it.
Johnny Carson.
Well, I can see where number 1 and 2 together might have doubled for Miss Lollobrigida. But, number 3, what is Burt Lancaster's...
I just got it.
Well, if we're going to have to wait for you, we're not going to have a show.
I just did, Just.
Number 3, what is Burt Lancaster's real name?
Burt Lancaster.
Number 2, what's his real name?
Burt Lancaster.
Number 1?
Burt Lancaster.
What's your name?
Willie Krause.
Did you double, number 1, did you double just in the trapeze scenes? You didn't double in the other scenes, in the love scenes?
No.
Just in the...
Just in the trapeze.
I'm vastly relieved to say that the time is up. I don't know where this was going, but I think it's just as well that we got back up in the trapeze bars where we belong. And vote, if you will, please. Once there, vote, mark your ballots without consultation. And vote as before for your choice of number 1, number 2, or number 3. Everyone voted?
Mighty mo.
Eeny, meeny, miny? All through, everyone? Ballots all marked? All right. Tom, have you voted yet, Dina?
No.
Better wait for Dina, then. Hurry up.
All right.
Okay. Tom, for whom did you vote?
I know I felt exactly the same way. I voted for number 1. Got a great look in the eyes, this guy, and it takes a little guts to get up there and do those things. I wish I'd had time to ask him a few more questions, but I like the answer about the kip. That was interesting.
Dina, your vote.
Well, I voted for number 3, but I don't know why. None of them has Burt has a brother, Jim, who's usually the assistant on all pictures he does, and none of them knew that. That's what puzzled me. But number 3 looks kind of athletically inclined, so I voted for him.
Johnny, your ballot.
I voted for number 1 and number 2. I'm on a split ticket tonight. No.
Take it. Looks to me like they've racked you up as number 1. Now, is that the one you wanted to decide?
Y'all take one.
Okay, number 1 is what it is. Otherwise, it winds up at 1.5, and that was a little embarrassing. Yes, Kitty, your vote.
I voted for number 1. I think number 2 gave marvelous answers, but I thought he was a bit tall to be an aerialist, and to have doubled for Miss Lollobrigida, who is really a very short woman. So I voted for number 1.
Okay, once again, we've come to our moment of truth when we discover how right or wrong we may have been, to our pleasure or regret, as the case may be, as we learn which one of these persons really, these gentlemen really doubled for Gina Lollobrigida. So will the real Willie Krause please stand up?
Why don't you get up?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to show you a picture that I'll warrant you'll remember for the rest of your natural life. First of all, here is Gina Lollobrigida as she appeared in the motion picture Trapeze. See it?
Yeah.
Very nice. And here is Willie Krause as Gina Lollobrigida. I think you'll agree. That's one to remember. Now let's find out about the others. Number 2, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
Number 2 is Gina Lollobrigida.
1/2.
I'm Gene Meredith. I'm an interior decorator here in New York City.
Thank you, sir. And number 3, may we have your name and what you really do, please?
My name is Art Devlin, and I own and operate Art Devlin's Olympic Motel in beautiful Lake Placid, New York.
Plug. Yes, you do. Now, wait a minute. Why do you know it? Why do you know it?
Because he used to ski jump when my husband competed at Yale in the ski jump. Yep.
Right.
And that's not all. Art Devlin, in case you were forgotten, and
No wonder
sometimes
you look
memory is
athletic.
fickle, was 4 times our national ski jump champion and represented the United States in 4 Olympics. That's a record of the Colorado man, too. Well, again, we have the same scores before. The panel's really hot tonight. There were 3 right and 1 wrong. $250 and a carton of Salem cigarettes for each of you. We had a lot of fun meeting you and getting to know you. Good night. Good luck to you. Here is our 3rd team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jeffrey Ford.
My name is Jeffrey Ford.
My name is Jeffrey Ford.
Again, panel, kindly follow along with your copies of this affidavit, if you will. I, Jeffrey Ford, run a school for horse players. I am the author of a home study course for racing fans and conduct a regular series of lectures. Some of the subjects I cover are how to handicap, how to Dutch a mutual book, understanding the 2 or 3 horse entry, and the angles involved in a daily double. May I inform those who may be skeptical that I have not had one losing day at the racetrack in the past 4 years. Signed, Jeffrey Ford. We have 3 gentlemen this time, each one claiming, as you heard, panel, to be Jeffrey Ford, who runs a school for racing fans. And let's start this round with our own particular racing fan, Johnny Carson. Johnny?
The real Mr. Ford has not had a losing day?
In 4 years.
4 years?
The affidavit.
Well, whichever one of you are, I hate you. To start out with. Number 2, Mr. Ford, what horses must you pick to collect on a daily double?
You must pick the winner of the first race and the winner of the second race. I
No.
don't recommend the double.
You do not recommend a double?
No, sir.
Number 3, what's a saliva test?
A saliva test is exactly what it states.
A saliva test.
A saliva test after
Test of saliva. Mhm.
They test the winner to see if he has been in any way stimulated.
Kitty.
Number 1, what is the largest bet you've ever placed?
About $1,000.
Number 2, do you approve of bets that size for the average person?
No.
Number 3, what is a stud book?
A stud book
Yes.
is the calendar for the sire in stud for his matings.
Thank you. Number 1, where do you generally place your bets?
At the track only.
Number 2, what tracks do you frequent?
New York only, except in the winter.
Give me
I
the
go
name
to
of 3 New York tracks.
Saratoga, Belmont, and Aqueduct.
Number one, when you go to the track, do you place your bet at the window or do you approve of off-track betting?
At the track, there is no off-track betting.
No, but I mean, do you ever do any off-track betting?
Never.
A little confusion there. You called number 1 and looked at number 3, and number 3 answered.
And number
okay,
2.
Tom.
Oh, thank you, Bud. Number 1, what is racing against the clock?
Against time.
What does it mean specifically, number 2?
You generally...
Number 2, yes.
Racing against time, what does it mean specifically?
Racing against the clock.
That would be a horse that would just run for time only, generally to break a record for the track.
Number 2, what is an out bet?
An out bet? I wouldn't understand an out bet.
Thank you.
Dina.
It says in here, how to Dutch a mutual book, number 1. What does Dutch mean?
Meaning
what
that
do
you
mean by
bet
that?
on more than one horse in any given race. Originally, you could bet as high as 10 horses in a single race.
And when? Number 2, do you know what company owns the American Totalizator Company?
Yes, the Diamond National.
I say number...
Well, I'm afraid that's it. We've run against the clock, and the clock is called a halt, so it's time once again to place your decisions on those ballot cards and vote as you do without consultation for any one of the 3. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. All ballots marked? All right. Tom, for whom this time?
I voted for number 1 this time, Bud. I was really scared when number 2 knew the name of the owner of the American Totalizator, but he should have known what an out bet is, and so I was forced to vote for number 1. If he goes to the track, he's nicely suntan, and he looks like he spends a lot of time outdoors.
Thank you. Dina?
I voted for number 1, too, Bud. Number 2 gave me an incorrect answer. He didn't know the name of the company that owned American Totalizator.
Oh,
also, number 1 looks very, very tan, as if he spent some time outdoors looking at the horses, and he also looks terribly prosperous.
Yeah.
Really, no, he might have gotten that tan lying flat on his back after the race.
Yes.
Johnny.
I did not know there was such a thing as a school for horse players at all. What do you get, a BH? A degree or what? I voted for 3 because he looks like he stays inside and runs the school.
Kitty, which one did you select?
I voted for number 2 because I fell for that silly thing about Dina. Well, anyway, I wanted to vote for number 1 because I thought a man who keeps his nose in the mutual book or whatever it's called would probably be wearing glasses. But number 2 said that nobody should put $1,000 on a horse. And a great friend of mine, Mr. Baruch, once said that anybody who puts more than $2 on a horse who doesn't understand about it is foolish. So I voted for number 2.
Okay, there we have it. Once again, time to find out how right or wrong we are. Who wins this race? Down to the wire we go, as we learn which one of these gentlemen is the real one who runs the school for racing fans. So will the real Jeffrey Ford please stand up? Well, Johnny, your system is a good way to at least figure out the horse race experts. Let's find out about the other 2. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Gene Ferguson. I'm an area manager for the Diamond Match Division of Diamond National Corporation.
Thank you, sir. And number 2, may we have your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Alan Clark. I'm the manager for Circle Line, who conduct those wonderful guided cruises around Manhattan.
Gentlemen, we thank you. And in checking up on the score, we find that this time you did better than the panel. For the first time tonight, there were 3 incorrect instead of 3 correct, and only 1 correct. That means a total at $250 each of $750. Not bad for a day's racing, gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. You'll also receive a carton of Salem cigarettes on your way out. Good night and good luck to you. And now, how to get released from cold. All we have time for tonight, except Dina, we'll be looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday night on U.S. Steel on CBS. And that's it, panel. Good night.
Good night, Bud.
Good night, Bud.
Bud Collier saying good night from Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production.